Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as well as you ladies. We're here back on the red brick house. Going to be doing some more work. We're going to be trying to fix a few more things to make this place really look good. And let me say, we have 5 channel members. I know Angelica Barone is one of them. I know Miss Beverly is one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I will make sure before this video is over that I thank each and every one of you guys. So, a couple things we want to do. My wife would love to be able to have Christmas lights on the house, but she wants it to look a little bit better than it does. So, we've actually gone through to Benjamin Moore, and we've got some primer for our bricks that are down here, and we found out that the paint on here, for thank goodness, is latex. It's not lead based, which is great because then we can go ahead and prime this today. We've got some warm weather. It's actually windy as could be. It's actually a state of emergency because we do have a lot of dry weather and some wildfires that are happening. So they're saying be careful with fire. With this wind that's hawking, it's like crazy. So there are some bricks that are missing up here in the top. So I'm taking some of the lime plaster that I have, adding a little more sand to it, and basically making that a mortar. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to fill in those bricks that are missing and pointing up some of the bricks that's up there, as well as over here. I've got some places here that have been open because what happened was the gutter, and my gutter, I've got to put screws and stuff on there, but I took it off. But what happened was all the water would come off the other roof, run down in here, and it would freeze and thaw into that. Now we've got the gutters, which is helping to channel it away. We need to fill these in. So you can see where we had the brick mason who did these, which are fantastic. And me, as I've been learning, not quite so good. But once it's painted, it will be fine. So we're gonna get those things filled up in here and get some of these bricks put in place. We have one door that's left here at the house, and that's going to be the laundry room. And we have this door, which is a little bit short, but it's okay. It's wide enough for us. We're going to go ahead and get this stripped and painted and put that up, and that'll give us the last door we need on the interior. So I'm going to get in here and get to work and see if we can get this thing done. Well, hey, good people, Mark here, up on the roof. We're doing a little bit of work here on the house, of course, because that's what we always do. Looking at a couple of things here. One is figuring out how we can put up our gutters. Now, the problem with the gutters are we don't have a fascia here where we can screw into. And so with that being a problem, they have clips that go onto the top of the roof that will attached to the top of that. Of course, when you put that on there like these, they end up putting holes in the roof, and sometimes the roof leaks. We also have a problem where we have some bricks that are missing up here. You can see where they've made these decorative bricks and stuff in here, and we're missing a couple of bricks in here, and we need to point up in places. So I'm going to try and at least get a couple of bricks up in here, point this up, and try and get some of these together. Now, of course, the harder part, and where I'm not crazy about heights, is getting up here on the end, because we're missing a couple over here. And so that's going to be putting a long step ladder in there, or I may have to wait on that part to get that part when I do the chimneys, because the chimneys up here are also, too, you can see they really need some work. So I may end up getting a lift and doing that to get that part squared away. So I'm just trying to do some reconnaissance here. The good thing is my wife wants to do some touch-up painting on the front. And you can't use just any kind of paint. We're assuming that this is an oil lead-based paint that's probably on here. And part of the problem with that is you need breathable paint. The breathable paint, of course, allows the bricks to be able to breathe and let the moisture and stuff be able to travel. The problem, of course, with some of this is and we don't know. That's where we're going to take a sample to the paint store and see what we have. You have to prime. We're going to have to prime the places before we paint it that don't have anything on them. and then of course try the paint. And the paint is very expensive. We're talking about like $90 a gallon. So we're going to be looking at this and trying to see what we can do. I'm going to go inside. I've gotten the piece of the old shutters that were up here off, and I'm going to mix some mortar and get the mortar bag, because I'm basically just going to take the mortar bag and just go through and fill these in and just smooth them on out. So we're going to do that. Now, one other thing I could possibly do, the good thing is the wood right here is solid. I could possibly go through and put wood blocking. If I put wood blocking here, excuse me, like a 1x3, and attached it up in here and screwed it into the fascia there, then I could use the less expensive clamps, and those would be able to screw right into that. That's another possibility that we might explore here as well, on being able to put the gutters. The difference being is the clamps for the round gutter that are like these are about $3. The ones that actually attach to the top of the roof, which means you also too have to get on top of the roof, are like $14 each. It's a big cost difference, so we'll figure that out. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We have wet our brick up here, and I have this thing, it's like a cake icing decorator, and we're using that to point right into these joints, get it down there nice and deep, and then we'll take a point up trowel and go through and hit those. That'll seal these up real nice. It'll put it back the way it was so it can breathe, and it'll make it definitely a lot stronger, keeping these other bricks from falling out. I do have a couple of bricks. What did I do? Oh, a couple of bricks right here that are going to go up in here, so we'll go ahead and actually put those in. I will need to get me a ladder up here probably to really get them in place, but you can see that that's already looking better on here. And eventually what we'll do is we'll get all the paint that's loose off of here, prime it, and paint this and get our gutter on here and make it real pretty. All right, so we've gotten these pointed up in here. We've got our bricks that are missing up in place. What we're gonna do eventually is I'm gonna end up getting a lift out here, so that way I can pull off all the stuff on the chimneys and get the chimneys pointed up and taken care of up there, and put actually a cap on them. But this at least will get those sealed up on this end and stuff, at least in the middle of it. I do need to get a ladder that's long enough that I can get over here on the end to get those, but I don't have one here right now. That's where a lift will come in real handy. But that's a good start. I'm gonna go over here and check on my dresser drawers that are over there that we've put stripper on, and see if those are ready for us to strip. And I may go down and prime the walls before the sun goes down. Now we got daylight savings time. Time goes by a lot quicker, so we'll lose light here in about another hour. Okay, that's definitely a lot better. You can see the joints are filled in. Well, it's a lot brighter because of course it's brand new. And over here, we just have to get, my ladder's not tall enough to get me up here in the corner to get that brick up there. But you can see definitely an improvement on there. We do need to get up here on the end and be able to get that portion of it, but definitely liking the way that's going to go. Eventually we'll get that black gutter up there, and it'll look really good, really good, and that'll keep the water from being able to roll and penetrate. But you can see now that we're further away how that chimney is up there. We definitely need to get that lift up here and do that work. All right, so here's what we're doing now. We've gone through, we've scraped this, we power washed it, and we've wired brushed it, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some of this primer. The primer is tinted. We got the color to match the brick. Hopefully it'll do well. So places like here where the paint's peeling, we're gonna hit those today. We're gonna let it dry out tonight, and we're gonna check and see how it looks tomorrow. You can already see where we have in here, but we're gonna need to take a brush to get in to some of the deeper areas. We may come back later on and point these places up, but for now it'll be okay. Boy, now this sucks because the days are shorter. It was crazy because it used to be, it was 9 o'clock at night and it was still light. Now it's only like 5. But take a look right now. This is crazy because this is the primer. We put the primer on I went ahead, she said all I really needed to do were the places that it was peeling and that the brick was showing, but I went ahead and painted all of the lower portion up here. Now you can see up top where I did, but that's all in great shape, so that'll take the paint real well. But take a look at that. Oh my God. That just looks totally different. I painted down the edges where we actually filled the plaster in. The way that's going to be cut, we're going to have to touch up the white, but that's okay because we're going to finish off up in here. Actually, let me put on the porch light. It's incredible how warm it is today. Porch light, we've got a paint up in here. We never did finish that and eventually get some molding to go around here, but you can see how nice the brick looks with just the primer on it. Now the primer was about 36 bucks. The actual paint, the brick paint that goes on top of it's like 83, and that's my contractor's discount, but it definitely is worth it. And when you look at that right now I realize I'm gonna have to paint up there too, so the front of the house looks good, because that looks so much better. You know, I'm not gonna be able to paint the fascia pieces yet because, sorry? Yeah, my wife was right about painting. I was like, I ain't worried about painting it. I ain't worried about painting it and all that. But, you know, she's like, no, we need to do that before we put up Christmas lights on there. So it's like, okay, honey, whatever you say. Did I hear I was right, too, that we need to get a lift so we can fix the chimneys? Because Santa Claus is going to break his neck when he tries to go down there and the bricks all fall on him. Did I hear that, too? Oh, no, I didn't hear that. But definitely a major improvement. So about here, I've got the drawers to the dresser that I put the stripper on, and I scraped it the first go around. Actually, I waited a little too long, so it started drying up. But now we're, oops, somebody's backing up. But now I put another coat on it, so let it sit. Okay. Trying to figure out what they're doing. Okay. They stopped, backed up, and then left. Okay, I thought they were coming back. The wife was working on that door over there. I need to get this ladder down. And I may start working on getting the floor upstairs up and leveled out. So maybe this week we get the floor sanders to sand this room and sand the upstairs. That would be major. It's a good time to do it because we can turn the heat off so we don't get any dirt and stuff in the units. And so on, but definitely a major improvement.